Beyond the Gates spoilers for the next 2 weeks, February 2nd to 13th, indicate that Isaiah Hawthorne will juggle 3 women while a new character debuts, and Grayson Perez will reveal his dark side. The next 14 days are sure to offer plenty of drama, so let's unpack what BTG fans should expect. During the week of February 2 to 6 imply, Anita Dupree will be struggling. As Beyond the Gates fans know, she began losing her hair on the Friday, January 30th episode, a side effect of her chemotherapy. So it sounds like she'll tell Danny Dupree about it. The weekly preview reveals a clip where Anita is shaving her hair off, with Danny in the background, so her daughter may encourage her to take control of the situation, rather than sitting back and waiting for her hair to fall off. As the week progresses, Anita will have a confrontation with Anastasia, so it looks like the country club gossip will make an underhanded comment, and Anita will put her in her place. Over to Danny, she'll have an awkward moment this week when she confesses her kiss with ex-husband, Bill Hamilton, to new hubby, Andre Richardson. How will Andre react? He may not be happy about it, but it may also not mean the collapse of their marriage. After all, Andre will scheme with Danny's bestie, Pamela Curtis. On the Friday, February 6th show, well after Danny confesses, so what will these two be up to? As for Bill, he'll want answers regarding his test results, but it's hard to say if the doctor will be able to give him a definitive answer. Will Haley Hamilton put a halt to her poisonous plan to off her husband? One thing is for sure, Haley will still have her eye on Isaiah, as the two flirt up a storm during the week of February 2nd, when they run into each other. Speaking of Isaiah, he'll be juggling a ton of drama this week. Off the cusp of his fight with Eva Thomas, he'll butt heads with Catherine "Cat" Richardson. Eva wasn't happy to see him joking around with Cat at Uptown last week, and he reminded her that they were not exclusive, something she insisted on. Cat may try to tell Isaiah that he dodged a bullet by not progressing any further with her half-sister, but Isaiah may not be too sure. Despite this, fans should see Cat and Isaiah mend fences and potentially continue to get closer with their friendship. Meanwhile, Eva will turn to Tomas Navarro for support. What will Tomas's thoughts on the situation be? And how will Cat feel about these two spending time together again? Elsewhere, someone will reject Danny, so it sounds like Isaiah will turn down her modeling offer. Moving on, Beyond the Gates. Spoilers for the week of February 26 hint that a couple will get engaged on the February 6 episode, much to everyone's surprise. It could be Chelsea Hamilton and Dr. Madison Montgomery, as the two have talked about the next step. Still, they are also leaning toward a breakup, so it's hard to say. Madison is heading abroad for a research project, much to Chelsea's dismay. Does she shock Chelsea by rejecting the offer and then proposing her love? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Another couple will take a major step as Vanessa McBride and Joey Armstrong decide to move in together. With that said, could living under the same roof as the casino owner place Vanessa in even more danger? She could become a target for his enemies. In some fun BTG spoilers for the week of February 6, Nicole Dupree will continue feeding her wild child as she and Dr. Kiel Rollins go on a date. The weekly promo shows the two at Uptown, making out, only for Ted Richardson to catch them in the act. He looks mighty jealous, however, there's not much he can do about it since Nicole is no longer his wife. Still, Ted will be a busy bee where drama is concerned, so he'll have to shift gears fast. Shanice Johnson will discover the women's panties that Leslie Thomas recently planted in Ted's couch cushions and be horrified. Shanice will confront Ted with this, but he'll likely be confused at first. It sounds like Shanice won't believe Ted's innocent act and may break up with him on the spot. But it won't take him too long to deduce that Dana is behind this, and he'll lash out at Leslie later on in the week. However, will it be too late for Shanice and Ted? Beyond the Gates spoilers for the Friday, February 6th episode suggests Shanice will lean on Derek Baldwin. These two are friends, but there was a time they explored a romance, so will they give love another go? Over at the hospital, Ashley Morgan will share a sizzling night with Grayson, but their date will get derailed when the lab technician receives a mysterious call. What's all this about? It looks like viewers will get more of an insight into Grayson and his backstory during the week of February 9 to 13. In fact, Grayson's storyline could turn dark. Actor Jordi Villasuso did offer some spoilers prior to his debut during a TV Insider interview. Villasuso implied that Grayson was raised by a single parent, and over time, the roles have been reversed as he now takes care of his mom. Villasuso added that the lab technician would be willing to cross lines to achieve this. So is Grayson somehow wrapped up in the plasma ring case that Jacob Hawthorne and Bradley Smitty Smith are investigating? Grayson might be working for the bad guys in exchange for medicine or a promise of getting plasma for his mom's ailment. Either way, this arc will continue to unfold during the week of February 9 to 13. Speaking of the plasma case, during the week of January 26-30, Jacob noted someone linked to the ring was named Randy. Is Joey lying about his involvement in this? And could Randy be Randy Parker? Beyond the Gates news for the week of February 9th, actress Cecilia Specht will debut on Friday, February 13th, as Dr. Leah Whitmore, the hospital's chief of staff. Leah's storyline revolves around shocking news that changes everything in her world, and she'll learn about this just as she's heading into the operating room. Added teasers note that this situation will trigger a web of lies that the Dupree family, along with other characters on the canvas, get wrapped in. It looks like Leah will be a villainess and is expected to have a 20-episode run, extending to the end of May at the very least, so viewers won't want to miss her first episode, happening the week of February 9-13. Back to Izaiah, his love life will be complicated as he navigates between feelings for Eva, a new friendship with Kat, and Haley waiting in the wings to pounce on him. With that said, he'll also have to deal with Danny. Sure, he'll decline her modeling offer this coming week, but that doesn't mean Danny won't try to continue to persuade him to join her agency. As the two are set to have more interactions, will Danny see Haley's admiration for Izaiah and run to Bill to tell him about it? Beyond the Gates, spoilers for the weeks of February 2-13 suggest a ton of chaos, romance, shady behavior, and more, so fans will need to tune in to catch all the campiness and see what happens next in Fairmont Crest, the Tuesday, February 3rd. Spoilers for Beyond the Gates focus on Anita, who turns to Danny as she begins losing her hair due to chemotherapy. Bill's also experiencing a health scare. The high-powered attorney tries to get to the bottom of his troubling blood work results. What will that mean for Haley? Anita is facing another painful situation. After several chemotherapy treatments, she started losing her hair. She came to this realization while at the country club, enjoying quality time with Vernon. But as soon as she noticed, she told her husband she wanted to go home. For a Black woman who's a famous singer and entertainer, this is a devastating development. Anita ultimately confides in Danny, her daughter, the former supermodel. Danny recommends a bold course of action. Knowing Anita, she will make the most of this next stage of her cancer journey. In fact, in the BTG weekly video preview, we see her cutting her hair. While this may be a bump in the road for Anita, it will be a temporary one. She will rock whatever her new look is. Nothing keeps her down for long. Bill is going through a health scare of his own. Madison shared she was worried about the results of his blood work. His electrolytes were all over the place, and his carbon dioxide levels were low. This doesn't just happen, especially if the second wave of results shows it's no fluke. According to the weekly spoilers, Bill tries to get to the bottom of this health scare. If he does, he may not be prepared for what he finds. After all, his wife has been poisoning him for weeks, and it's only recently that she upped the dosage, which may be the biggest mistake of Haley's life. What kind of answers will Bill get? Vernon has really taken Andre under his wing. Both he and Anita are completely on board with Danny and Andre's marriage. And Andre has been able to help Vernon with a couple of projects, making him a wonderful son-in-law. Vernon wants Danny and Andre to succeed, so look for him to issue another warning. Something tells us that this may be about Danny's ex. Bill's looming presence is relentless. The man is still territorial with Danny, despite ditching her for a younger model. What words of wisdom will Vernon share with Andre this time? Finally, teasers suggest that Kat receives shocking news that puts her at odds with her cousin. If this has to do with Chelsea, perhaps Kat learns about her bestie's latest bold move with Madison. But if this has to do with Naomi, maybe Kat learns that Naomi is a BRCA gene carrier and hasn't told Jacob or her family yet. Would Kat actually have an issue with Naomi's silence? Beyond the Gates spoilers for the next 2 weeks, February 2nd to 13th, indicate some bombshells in the land of Fairmont Crest. Grayson Perez's storyline will take an interesting turn, while a new character hits the canvas, and sparks fly between Izaiah Hawthorne and Catherine Kat Richardson. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of February 2 to 6 imply that Anita Dupree will still be reeling from her hair loss. She noticed she was losing her hair during the Friday, January 30th show, so in the week ahead, she'll share this with Danny Dupree. As this is a symptom of chemotherapy, it looks like Danny will encourage her mom to make a courageous move by cutting, shaving her head, and taking control of the situation, rather than sitting back and watching it fall out. As the days go by, Anita will have a run-in with Fairmont Country Club's gossip, Anastasia. There's a good chance that Anastasia will make some sort of unclassy comment about Anita's appearance, and the Dupree matriarch will put her in her place. Speaking of Danny, she'll end up coming clean to Andre Richardson about the kiss she shared with Bill Hamilton recently. What will Andre's reaction be? It may not be a deal-breaker where their marriage is concerned, as added teasers hint that he and Pamela Curtis will conspire during the Friday, February 6th show. Who will their target be? Meanwhile, Bill will be looking for answers regarding his odd medical test results. He'll head to the doctors, with Haley Hamilton in tow. But will the medical professional have any answers? Will Haley now hold off on her poisoning scheme, or switch to Plan B? Elsewhere, Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of February 2nd indicate a couple will surprisingly get engaged on the February 6th show. It's hard to say who this could be, but Chelsea Hamilton did pop the question last week. So will she and Dr. Madison Montgomery be headed to the altar? With that said, Madison is contemplating a research project abroad and might be leaving town soon, but she could always reconsider and get down on one knee and propose to herself to shock Chelsea, right? In other couple news, Vanessa and Joey Armstrong take the plunge and decide to live under the same roof on the Thursday, February 5th episode. Still, being in Joey's world and living in Joey's world are two very different things, right? So, is Vanessa placing herself in a dire predicament? Across town, Eva Thomas will turn to Tomas Navarro for some support. On Friday, January 30th, she and Kat got into another fight after Eva saw her hanging out with Izaiah at Uptown. Unfortunately, after Kat left their table, Eva and Izaiah also got into an argument, as Eva was disgusted that Izaiah would even be friends with someone like Kat. This rubbed Izaiah the wrong way, and he reminded her that she was the one who wanted to take things slow and not become official boyfriend and girlfriend. So it looks like this relationship has hit a standstill. In related news, Haley will once again catch Izaiah's eye later on in the week, and the two will enjoy some flirting. Lastly, Danny gets rejected by someone, so Izaiah will likely turn down her modeling offer. Speaking of not being tied down, BTG spoilers for the week of February 2 to 6 note that Nicole Dupree and Dr. Kial Rollins will head out on a date. In fact, the two will enjoy a kissing session at Uptown too. In a dramatic twist, Ted Richardson will have a bird's-eye view of the two making out, and it looks like he'll get jealous. Still, he'll have his hands full dealing with Shanice Johnson in the days ahead. Shanice will be grossed out by something she discovers, and it looks like she'll find the panties. Leslie Thomas planted in Ted's hotel room recently. Ted will put two and two together and confront Dana, but it may be too late. As the week of February 2nd rolls to a close, Shanice will turn to Derek Baldwin for comfort. While they are friends, they once were interested in more, so could sparks fly? Lastly, Ashley Morgan will have a sizzling date with Grayson until it gets derailed by a mysterious call. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of February 9 to 13 imply that Grayson's storyline could take a dark twist. While fans don't know much about the nice lab technician, his portrayer, Jordi Villasuso, did hint at some sketchiness during a TV Insider interview before his debut. Villasuso teased that Grayson was raised by a single mom, and now the roles have reversed since he is taking care of her. Villasuso also added that Grayson is willing to go to great lengths to achieve this, so it sounds like this arc will begin to unravel during the week of February 9th. Jacob Hawthorne and Bradley Smitty B. Smith will continue in their plasma ring investigation, but will Grayson somehow be pulled in the mix? If he has an ailing mother who needs something, he may be desperate enough to seek it on the black market. Then again, he could be helping the bad guys in exchange for plasma to help his mom. In addition, during the week of January 26-30, Jacob did drop that someone linked to the ring named Randy. So could this be Randy Parker? And is Joey involved? This could mean danger for Vanessa. During the week of February 9th, fans can expect a new character to debut on canvas as well. Cecilia Specht will enter storylines on Friday, February 13th as Dr. Leah Whitmore, and fans can expect to see her on screen until at least late May. Leah is the chief of staff for the hospital, and it sounds like she may become a new villain of sorts in Fairmont Crest. Beyond the Gate spoilers note that her story centers on some news that flips her world around just before entering the operating room. This will have her question everything in her life and will also trigger some lies that will not only draw in the Dupree family, but also other characters on the show. Lastly, Beyond the Gates spoilers state that Izaiah will juggle multiple ladies. He still has feelings for Eva, but sparks will fly between him and Kat too, as the two become better friends. While he will reject Danny's offer the week of February 2nd, Danny is not one to take no for an answer, so fans should expect to see her relentlessly counter back during the week of February 9-13. Plus, viewers may also see things heat up between him and Haley as they continue their flirty friendship. Beyond the Gates will have a new doctor-in-residence starting Friday, February 13th. Michael Fairman reports Cecilia Specht is joining the cast in the role of Dr. Leah Whitmore, the chief of staff at Garland Memorial Hospital. But don't expect her 20-episode run to be all sunshine and daisies. Dr. Whitmore's choices are set to put the audience on edge. BTG is in the middle of an emotional breast cancer story with Anita Dupree and her family. Viewers know they'll be in this storyline for some time, and it seems Dr. Whitmore may complicate it. She's described as brilliant and battle-tested, but she's not infallible. An incident in the operating room changes the course of her life. Not only does it shake her confidence, but it also makes her question who she is and what she thought she stood for. Honesty will not be a character trait associated with Dr. Whitmore. In an effort to hide what's going on with her, she'll weave a web of deceit that will pull the Dupree family in. They'll be caught in it for a while. Reportedly, Cecilia Specht is set to be on BTG through Tuesday, May 26th. That leaves plenty of room for all kinds of chaos to erupt at the hospital before anyone catches on. Though much has been kept under wraps, Specht may have shared a behind-the-scenes look at her character back in January. The Duprees are the only family named in the description of Whitmore's arc, but we can likely expect the hospital staff closest to them to be involved too. Dr. Madison Montgomery is a neurologist. She may cross paths with the good doctor. BTG's nurses Ashley and Shanice could be aware of, or overhear, any issues with Whitmore that have been swept under the rug. There's also Grayson Phillips to consider. He's a lab technician. If something went wrong with one of the tests, he might just put on his detective hat and loop Ashley into his investigation. With a healthy amount of BTG's characters employed by Garland Memorial, Dr. Whitmore's storyline could be the next all-hands-on-deck plot for the soap opera. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Tuesday, 3rd February 2026. Keeping the momentum going from Monday, we dive into Tuesday, where Anita confides in Danny, who then recommends a bold course of action. Anita doesn't want to look at a mirror and see a cancer victim staring right back at her, and who could blame her? Danny suggests taking control of things before they take control of her. Anita, loving the idea, gets right on it. Look for some startling results. On Tuesday's episode, Vernon issues a warning to Andre. Vernon has listened to Bill wax poetic about his losing Danny, and that it was the greatest mistake he's ever made. And Vernon knows what desperate men will do, so giving Andre a heads up is the best course of action. Although Andre doesn't know yet what transpired when he was in New York. After getting some strange results in his lab tests, Bill tries to get to the bottom of his health scare. Seriously, why look anywhere else? The only thing that has changed is the copious amounts of that infernal tea Haley makes. What are you going to do now, Haley? Step it up some more and risk it coming out in the tests? Or pivot to an additional plan? Kat has been on a tear, going at everyone that will listen. First it's about Eva, then it's Leslie, then it's Ted and her mom, and now she's taking on the rest of the family one at a time. In Tuesday's episode, Kat receives shocking news that puts her at odds with her cousin. It's either Naomi or Chelsea, but I'm picking it's the Ross Geller of the group, and it's Proposal Barbie, aka Chelsea Dupree Hamilton. Make sure to check out The Scoop and the next week's sneak peek for a deeper look into what's to come this week and what you have to look forward to from your favorite characters and not-so-favorite characters in the DM. Beyond the Gates, spoilers here, and we're ready to head to Fairmont Crest and dig into some more spoilery goodies to share. The episode for Monday, February soon, looks like it's going to be an interesting episode with some harsh relationship issues. Nothing like a sisterly rivalry, as Eva Thomas and Kat Richardson will get into their own sort of trouble. Eva will vent to Tomas Navarro about Kat, and Kat will get into trouble with Izaiah Hawthorne. Both men will be defensive of their significant others while trying to maintain friendships, making this a fun exchange. Meanwhile, Chesley Hamilton and Madison Montgomery will have a life-changing discussion. We expect they'll either take a break or try doing a long-distance relationship with Madison going to Copenhagen. We're looking forward to seeing what they do. We love them as a couple, but it looks like Madison's time on the show is coming to an end for now. Beyond the Gates, spoilers are looking forward to this scene as the script could flip a couple of times with Eva and Kat. Eva experienced Kat's jealousy when she found her talking with Izaiah. So, after walking out on Izaiah, Eva will vent to Tomas about Kat. Kat will probably do the same to Izaiah, but she tends to be far more disrespectful. That will cause Izaiah to defend Eva and rip into Kat for acting like her usual spoiled brat self. As for Eva, she'll be more respectful, but Tomas won't hesitate to defend Kat and point out that's how she felt when seeing him and Eva talking. It'll give Eva a different perspective and may horrify her to know she and Kat are more alike than either wants to admit. This is going to be a tough scene as Madison and Chelsea will try to figure out where to go from here. The fact Madison didn't tell her she was leaving the country will be a huge issue, but Chelsea loves her and will want to work through it. Madison loves her too, but she needs time to process and think, so the break will be good. We're curious if they'll continue being a couple and do a long-distance relationship or take a break and see where they're at down the road. Is this the end for Chelsea and Madison? Let us know in the comments below. Check back with Beyond the Gates spoilers for the latest updates, spoilers, and speculation around. Multi-directional schemes are in play on Beyond the Gates for the episode dated Monday, February 2nd, 26. The master schemer, Leslie, makes an offer to Ashley with an ulterior motive. Meanwhile, Derek is pulled out of his depressive state by friendly advice. Elsewhere, Chelsea and Madison return to face each other with a fresh understanding after Chelsea's last derailed proposal. The past week saw the storyline of Beyond the Gates building up to all the drama surrounding Anita's health, Ashley's alliances, Haley's ploy, Leslie's plans, and the Dupree sisters' romantic relationships. On one hand, Anita recovered from her suddenly upset health, only to notice chemotherapy-induced hair fall when Vernon tried to entertain her with a romantic meal. Meanwhile, Nicole was seen yo-yoing between Carlton and Kial to keep her romantic options open. However, she shared with Danny her great experience of an intimate night with Carlton. At the same time, Danny spent some close times with Bill celebrating their daughter's presumably good health, ending with a kiss between the former couple. This necessitated that Bill bribe Tomas, who saw them together, with a promotion. Elsewhere, Haley admitted to having increased the quantity of poison in Bill's tea. However, Madison noticed something disturbing in Bill's blood work, forcing the doctor to investigate the results. Meanwhile, Leslie noticed Ted getting closer to Nurse Shanice and planned to derail their romance with a dirty move. As fans already know, Leslie went around making life difficult for everyone in her mega revenge scheme. On one hand, she dated a corrupt cop, Marcel, while feeling jealous of Ted's romance with Shanice. She secretly planted her underwear in Ted's bed to freak Shanice out. On the other hand, she tried blackmailing Joey with Doug's death, but had to take a step back when the casino owner threatened her in return. Monday, February 2nd, 2026. We'll see Leslie sitting down with Ashley. Beyond the Gates, fans may remember that Leslie and Ashley's mother, Jan, are friends. With this leverage, Leslie meeting Ashley may seem innocent. However, the conniving woman never does anything without reason. The soap's spoilers suggest that Leslie will likely table an offer for Ashley. This may be far from friendly and casual. Since Leslie knows Ashley's friendship with Shanice, she may try to manipulate Ashley into sabotaging Shanice's romance. Alternatively, Leslie may ask Ashley to volunteer in the Doug McBride clinic, which she forced Joey to open. Since Bill is drawing up the papers for the clinic, Leslie may feel insecure and want an independent ally inside. Whether Ashley accepts Leslie's offer remains to be seen. Recently, Derek was seen getting worked up about his divorce and Ashley moving on with Grayson. In response, he confronted Grayson, and their altercation drove them to blows. Ashley broke them up and chastised Derek. Moreover, Derek was fired from his fire station job and felt depressed. However, when he shared the news with Ashley, she hugged him and offered support to tide him through. Since Derek lost his job because of his condition connected to anger issues, he will realize that Ashley is truly friend-zoned, and he must find a new purpose in life to stay on track. Monday's episode of Beyond the Gates, for February 2nd, 2026, will find Derek face-to-face with a friend. Derek will likely receive stern advice from his well-wisher about pulling himself together and walking away from embarrassing situations. He will likely be ready to accept and put this advice to good use. Whether his tough love-offering friend is Jacob or Ashley remains to be seen. As viewers may remember, Chelsea turned wild after her BRCA gene marker test results came back negative. To her relief, she partied with drugs, something that shocked Madison. As the couple discussed it, Chelsea explained that she had a wilder side to her character. In response, Madison offered to walk away from the relationship if Chelsea felt stifled by her presence. In return, Chelsea proposed to Madison, who nonetheless walked away. The upcoming episode of Beyond the Gates will likely find Chelsea and Madison coming together for another chat about their future. Since Chelsea knows she spoiled their relationship by the previous hurried marriage proposal, she may want to consider her second chance carefully. This agreement would likely be a make-or-break situation for the couple. With Madison slated for a trip abroad for a research project, her absence from Fairmont Crest may affect her relationship with Chelsea. The other storylines of February 2nd, 2026 will show Eva opening up to Tomas about Kat's friendly encounter with Izaiah, while Kat and Izaiah will have another meeting that may turn into an unexpected encounter. Tune into Beyond the Gates to catch the drama involving Fairmont Crest residents, as Leslie bats for a long-term plot, and Derek tries to pull himself together. Soap Opera Network released the ratings for the week of January 12 to 16, 2026, and the results are up, down, and all around. Let's get into it. Beyond the Gates garnered its fourth largest audience since its debut and gaining 188,000 total viewers week to week. In addition, the newest daytime drama was up in both key advertising demos. For the week, BTG featured stories focused on Andre going off on Bill and Leslie handling Marcel's big piece. General Hospital reached a new season high by hitting over 2 million in total viewers. The sole ABC Sudser had a little less success in the key demos, while featuring stories focused on Tracy accusing Chase of cheating and Willow receiving a not guilty verdict. The Young and the Restless held steady in the key demos while adding a healthy 129,000 total viewers for the week. The number one daytime drama focused on stories featuring Phyllis and Kane trying to take Victor down and Sally accusing Billy of lying. The Bold and the Beautiful was up a solid 139,000 total viewers, but had mixed results in the key demos. For the week, B&B featured stories focused on Eric and Katie connecting over her new fashion house and RJ returning to the fold. What do you think about these numbers? Do these numbers reflect what you watched on your screen? Sound off in the comments. Joey thinks Vanessa moving in with him could really mean something. Danger. Haley accompanies Bill to the doctor and says, since his stroke, his wife has been force-feeding him tea 24/7. Shanice confronts Ted, asking who the tacky-ass panties she found belonged to. Andre and Danny have a heart-to-heart conversation. He relays how Bill told him giving up on her was a big mistake. Danny looks her beloved dead in the eye and says she kissed her ex-husband. Kial and Nicole are making out all over Uptown as Ted side-eyes the situation from a distance. Anita confides in Danny about her changing appearance. Afterwards, she cuts her hair, and Chelsea arrives to find a very different-looking Grand. What are you looking forward to next week? Sound off in the comments and watch the video clip below. Here's what's coming up on Beyond the Gates for Tuesday, February 3rd, 26. Bill tries to get to the bottom of things, while Vernon warns Andre. And that's not all. Read on as soap opera news breaks down the day's events for you. Anita and Vernon are enjoying a quiet, intimate evening together when everything suddenly changes. As Anita runs her fingers through her hair, she realizes it's falling out. The moment hits hard. It's raw, frightening, and something she's not ready to face. Shaken, Anita later confides in Danny. Danny responds with a bold suggestion, one that could help Anita take back some control. So, will Anita be ready to take that step? Meanwhile, Vernon issues a warning to Andre. Does this have anything to do with Bill, who has been voicing regrets over how things ended with Danny? If so, it may be a case of too little, too late. As for Bill, he's focused on getting answers about his health scare. Haley may want to move things forward, but Bill has too much weighing on his mind. Right now, he needs clarity. He wants to know what's really going on before it's too late. Beyond the Gates spoilers for February 3rd also tease that Kat receives shocking news that puts her at odds with her cousin. These two are usually inseparable, so what could possibly come between them now? That's all for Beyond the Gates spoilers for February 3rd, 2026. Which storyline are you most excited about? Share your thoughts in the comments and check back tomorrow for more drama and surprises. Get the weekly BTG spoilers. Beyond the Gates airs weekdays on CBS. Spoilers reveal that Anita confides in Danny, who then recommends a bold course of action. Vernon issues a warning to Andre, and more. In this episode, she receives shocking news that puts her at odds with her cousin. The breakout star in soaps of 2025 was Beyond the Gates newcomer Amber Michelle. Now in 2026, she continues to be a fan favorite as her character, Eva Thomas, toes the line of never getting what she feels she deserved, being the underdog, or often playing dirty to even the score. But no matter what, Amber's portrayal has reflected human moments for many in the viewing audience. Now, Amber has announced she is an author. The talented actress is releasing her first book entitled Built in the Chaos. In an Instagram post sharing the news, Michelle expressed, "You prayed for elevation, but didn't expect the fire that came with it." According to the actress, Built in the Chaos is a spiritual companion to help you breathe, believe, and belong on your creative journey. The book is now available for pre-order and will ship February 10th with a signed copy from Amber. Built in the Chaos promises to share reflections rooted in real-life surrender, scripture woven into lived experience, guided prayers, journal prompts, creative and spiritual challenges, signed author page, exclusive box holder, designed bookmark, and a note from the author. Upon making the announcement of Built in the Chaos, several of Michelle's BTG co-stars jumped in her Instagram post thread, including Ariel Prepetit, who shared, "Girl, you've been writing a whole book?" Executive producer Sheila Ducksworth added, "Go Ambry!" Then Daphne Duplay expressed, "Looking forward to reading it, sugar." Marquita Goings stated, "Congrats, girly." On today's February 2nd episode of Beyond the Gates, spoilers tease that Eva vents to Tomas while Isaiah and Kat have a heated exchange. Just who is truly going to end up being Eva's man? Stay tuned. Now below, check out our live conversation from a few months back with Amber and her on-screen mother, Trisha Mann Grant, when they visited the Michael Fairman channel.